Hi, and welcome to a Life Soul podcast, where we explore personal growth, high performance, and intentional living. I am Wasim Balani, and I believe life isn't just about getting through the day, it's about becoming fully alive in everything we do. Through my journey, whether in medicine as a heart rhythm cardiologist, cycling and running, or personal development, I have learned that success isn't just about reaching goals, but about who we become along the way. This podcast is here to inspire and challenge you to push your limits, cultivate discipline, and live with purpose. Join me each week as we dive into ideas, reflections, and practical strategies to help you grow into your best self. So let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a Life Soul podcast. I'm recording this episode the day I finished the Chicago Marathon, and honestly, I still cannot believe it. I'm still so hyped up about it, and it still feels like a dream come true. Thank God, it was absolutely incredible. The weather was perfect, the crowd was electric, and I enjoyed every single minute of it. Every cheer, every smile, every sign that says, "You got this." It all lifted me in ways I cannot even describe. As I was running, I kept reflecting on how far this journey had come. Months of training, early mornings, tired legs, sacrifices, long runs that felt endless, and moments of doubt. But on that day, something felt different. There was peace, a deep sense of gratitude. I kept remembering God, thanking Him for every stride, every muscle that moved, every breath that kept me going. I had done my best to train and prepare, but I knew the outcome was ultimately in His hands. And in those moments, I realized I wasn't running alone. That strength truly comes from the one who created us. And as the miles went on, I began to experience that truth. I started the run strong, pacing myself, soaking in the energy around me. Chicago streets were alive and loud. Music, laughter, people handing out high fives, and signs that made me smile. And for a while, I forgot about the pain, the pressure, the distance. I was just there, present. But as the miles went on, you know how it goes. The fatigue creeps in. Around miles 15 to 20, your body starts to ask questions your mind doesn't want to answer. Why are we doing this again? And that's where the real marathon begins. Not on the course, but in your head. The battle between quitting and pushing through, between pain and purpose. And that's when I started talking to myself, reminding myself why I started this journey in the first place, why I wanted to run this marathon at all. It wasn't about glory or recognition. It was about gratitude, about honoring the body that God has blessed me with, and showing appreciation for the health, energy, and strength He's given me. I wanted every stride to be a reminder, every breath a thank you, every mile an act of remembrance. I also wanted this run to be more than personal, to be a message, a way to inspire others to move, to grow, to care for their bodies, and to live with purpose and discipline. To show my children and those around me that the real success isn't in speed or medals, but in consistency, gratitude, and finishing strong, whatever strong looks like for you. And those thoughts ran through my head. I felt calm. I wasn't just running a race anymore. I was living a prayer, step by step, breath by breath. And what struck me the most in those final miles wasn't how strong I was, but how carried I felt. I did everything I could, trained for months, fueled right, trusted the plan, but crossing that finish line, I knew something bigger had carried me there. It's such a powerful realization. You can do everything in your power, prepare, work hard, stay consistent, but in the end, success is never guaranteed. Strength isn't only about muscle or endurance, it's about grace. It's about realizing that while we run with our feet, something higher lifts our heart. That moment reminded me that in life too, we give our best, we plan, We push, we prepare, but ultimately, we're not in control of everything. Sometimes the wind is behind us, sometimes it's against us, but every step is still a gift. And that's when it hit me. This marathon isn't too different from life. Life, too, is long, unpredictable, full of turns and climbs, and moments when you just want to stop. Sometimes you're cruising with joy and gratitude, other times you're just trying to survive 1 mile at a time. But here's the thing, you don't need to sprint the whole way. You just need to keep moving forward, one step at a time, one day at a time. And that's how we grow. That's how we build endurance, not just in running, but in everything we do. Whether it's your career, your relationship, your goals, or your personal growth, it's all a marathon. You'll face moments when you feel unstoppable, and others when you barely have the strength to keep going. But both moments are part of the race. Both make you who you are. This marathon taught me so much more than how to run 26.2 miles. It taught me lessons about life, growth, resilience, and what it truly means to show up, especially when it's hard. It taught me that discipline is the bridge between intention and achievement. You can have the best plan in the world, but if you don't show up on the days when you're tired, unmotivated, or busy, that plan is just an idea. The marathon rewards consistency, not intensity. It's not about one perfect run, it's about hundreds of imperfect ones that builds you up quietly over time. It also taught me that endurance isn't just physical, it's mental and spiritual. Your body eventually follows where your mind and heart lead. And when I was deep into those final miles, when every muscle wanted to stop, I realized strength doesn't just come from the legs, it comes from the mind and the soul, from the belief that we were made to do hard things, from the quiet trust that God is with you, carrying you when your own strength runs out. It also reminded me that life itself is a marathon. We're in it for the long run, and sometimes we quit too soon. We give up in that final stretch. In our careers when things get tough, in our relationships when communication gets hard, or even in our connection with God when we feel distant or discouraged. But here's what I learned. If I had quit at mile 26, just zero point 0.2 miles before the finish line, I wouldn't have earned that medal. I wouldn't have completed what I started. And that's exactly how life works. The reward is often just past the point where most people give up. We have to stay patient, keep pushing, and trust that every step counts, especially the ones that hurt. The marathon also taught me the importance of clarity of purpose, knowing your why. When you know why you're doing something, it gives meaning to the pain. For me, running this marathon wasn't just about crossing the finish line, it was about inspiring people to move, to take care of their health, to be stronger, to show their children what commitment looks like. I wanted to be a role model, not just through words, but through action, to show that consistency, patience, and perseverance truly pay off. Another lesson I learned from this marathon training journey that setbacks are not the end, they are part of the path. See, halfway through the training, I injured my knee and later my hip. There were moments I thought my marathon dream was over. But here's what I learned. Setbacks don't define us. Our response to them does. You can give up and call it defeat, or you can recover, refocus, and get back on track. Every comeback story starts with the decision not to quit. And most importantly, through it all, one important truth kept resurfacing: reliance on God. Because no matter how much we prepare, how disciplined we are, and how strong our mindset becomes, there comes a point when you realize it's not just you out there. There is a grace that carries you when your body says it can't. There is a strength that flows from beyond you. A reminder that effort is yours, but success is given by God. And when you run with that awareness, every mile becomes an act of gratitude. Crossing that finish line wasn't just about running 26.2 miles. It was about every mile before it. Every early morning when I didn't want to get up. Every long run when my legs were tired. every sacrifice along the way. And when I finally crossed the finish line, the medal around my neck, the crowd cheering, the city buzzing, it wasn't just happiness I felt. It was gratitude. Gratitude for the health to run, for the time to train, for the people who supported me, for the lessons along the way, and most importantly, for God who gave me strength and health. As I look back, this wasn't just a race, it was a reflection of life itself. The highs, the lows, the doubts, the moment of clarity, the tears, the smiles, the surrender. You start with excitement, you face resistance, you learn to trust the process, and eventually you realize the finish line was never the point, the journey was. Because the real victory isn't the medal around your neck, it's the person you become while earning it. It's the discipline you build when no one was watching. It's the resilience you found when things didn't go your way. It's the faith you strengthened when you felt alone but kept going anyway. The marathon reminded me that life will test us over and over again. It will push us to our limits, slow us down, knock us down, and sometimes even make us question whether it's worth continuing. But those are the defining moments, the ones that separate those who stop from those who grow. So whatever marathon you're running in your life right now, don't quit at the last mile. Keep going through the discomfort, through the doubt, through the days that feels endless. You've already come too far to stop right now. Maybe your marathon is your career, where you're chasing a dream and the finish line feels out of reach. Maybe it's your family, where showing up with patience and love takes more endurance than any race. Or maybe it's your spiritual journey, learning to reconnect, rebuild, and trust again after a season of distance. Wherever you are, keep showing up. Because breakthroughs don't happen in the beginning, they happen when you push through the urge to quit. And that's where growth lives. That's where meaning lives. And remember, the goal was never perfection. It was progress. It was presence. It was purpose. Because at the end, the marathon of life isn't about crossing the finish line. It's about who you become on the way there. So embrace it, cherish it, and be grateful for every step, every challenge, every breakthrough, every breath that reminds you that you're still in the race. Every effort you make, every step you take, it all adds up. So keep showing up, stay strong, and stay consistent, because progress isn't about perfection, it's about taking action every single day. That's it for this episode, my friends. I hope you like it, and if you do, please share it with people around you, because we all grow better when we do it together.